Hey everybody, welcome back to our Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here watching some Mobile Suit Gundam.
Hey Griff,
Uh, what's that?
guess what happened?
What happened? Something wonderful? Something great?
So I heard the what? Like, goddamn, what is he doing? What? No, we hit that 30 Patreon mark, so we're gonna be starting uploading these things two at a time.
That's right, everybody. We're going to be doing twice the Gundam, and you're getting a full double blast of it today. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. Go ahead, hit the button. I know you're waiting for it. But any other announcements then on that, or?
Nope,
So
that was a very good announcement. I didn't know how to do it, and I just thought, hey, let me interrupt Griff in the middle of the intro. That'll probably be a good way to do this
there you go. So the full
without
intro.
discussing with him beforehand at all.
Just surprise it on me and see how my improv muscles react to it.
Well, you're a professional GM. I would assume that this is a good show of your ability.
Every now and then. But last time was Garma's fate, where Garma's task force was made up of Gauze to pursue the white base of the now ruined city of New York. We had a little bit more than that happen, Theta, if I remember. We had the entire love story with Garma and Icelina here. We had Char betraying Garma in the I don't know. Would it be silly? No, I think he just was pretty direct and blatant about it, is all. And were there any other, like, really important elements to it? I'm trying to remember if anything interesting happened on White Base. What, like, sticks out in your mind here?
Of what happened on White Base?
Yeah.
Let's see. This happened after the episode where Amuro had to get punched twice or punch slapped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Amuro volunteered to go out in this episode versus last time. So, I don't know. Not really. Yeah, really on the White Base, it wasn't a White Base focused episode. It was all about Char and Garma. White
I
Base
guess we
just
did
kind
get
of went under the Thunderdome and then
mhm.
came out guns a-blazing.
Yeah, we did get Amuro doing his 3v1 sneaking around, which was at least amusing and fun, so that was good. But I think with that, you want to drop by the concept board then?
I've already brought it up the moment that I saw your mouse moving around and you started talking about people.
All right, but I think there's one nice big part of the board that we need to pay attention to. It's that Garma is dead. Everybody in his family is now angry.
Well, I mean, Degwin here had to stand up, which was a thing.
Yeah, I don't think I remember seeing him stand up at any point during, like, the origins or anything.
He's
Do
talking
you?
about, he's been, yeah. Remember when after post the Dawn Rebellion, when he had to confront Rebel face to face,
Mm-hmm.
he walks into the room, cane in hand and everything.
It's just been a while. Come here, dog. Oh, this little dog wants to be on screen here. How you doing? But we also have Icelina and her father. How do we pronounce this? Joseph Eichskonbach.
I think it's shown.
Schoenbach?
Eichenbach. Eichenbach.
I gotta say,
It's an
for
O with an umlaut over top of it, so I believe that's an O. Own.
yeah, I guess so. But I think the funniest thing is that, like, this is the most German sounding name for a person who is running ostensibly an American city that also is in Mexico.
One, not in Mexico. It says New York. Where do you think New York is?
But we were clearly not in that area.
Well, clearly we pivoted.
We just
Also,
crossed the entire
also,
Midwest.
what does their last name have to do with where they're located? Do you not believe in the Great American Melting Pot, Griff? Where does
All
your
right.
last name come from? I know mine's Polish in nature.
Trust me, you can't spell my last name.
Actually,
But
I got that wrong. Mine is actually French in nature. So, I think I just have Polish roots somewhere. My last name is actually French.
Yeah, like, okay, so my last name, if I showed it to you, you couldn't pronounce it, and if I pronounced it to you, you couldn't spell it. That is how bad my name is.
I know your name, unless you're saying that's not even your real name either.
I'm sure you've seen the other last name. Anyway,
Okay,
I
so,
keep one in my back pocket in case the fairies come for me, but
hold on. It's not... Is that not it?
that's half of it.
Oh, that's half of it.
That's
Okay.
that's the simpler one that I give to people.
Okay. It's like I'm not gonna say it out loud, and I'm not even gonna try and guess this on dox you on screen. It's like, is
Yeah.
that it? Okay, it's the one I know.
There we go. But no, like this is like fitting to theme for Gundam, where like they want like the entire Zeon stuff to be like highly German, highly Prussian, highly like all of this like Central Europe kind of stuff, right? And so because he's aligned with or at least adjacent to Garma and that entire side of things, that's just the name he ends up with.
I mean, I would argue against that heavily, considering we have this whole line of Spanish types over here.
That
Well, are
is
all
true.
literally Zeon.
They got a little bit of a thing going on there.
And our little Zeon guy O'Hara over here might have something to say about your German theory.
I
So
wonder why would the
might
Germans, the Italians, the Spanish, and the Japanese have anything in common?
so might Fernandez over here. He might have a thing to say about your German stereotype.
But yeah, no, that's the only excuse I can really give to it. But Theta, I gotta ask again, where are we? Where in the show is White Base? I really thought it was Mexico.
Before we get anything else, I just want to express something that I've had to do on the board here. The very first dual color line that I've had to draw because I'm starting to cross over in so many parts that I don't want the lines to merge, or I don't want them to become confusing. So, like, if this bright red line were to cross over with the Cassilia kill count or whatever line, or enemy line, I didn't
Honestly,
want them.
I would
I
just
didn't
make a
want them to
brand
read
new
it.
line for Caecilia. Purple, Caecilia killed them.
No, we've got a color coded theme. So I just had to start drawing a red line that just turns into the light red as it crosses over. So keep in mind that these lines may now become more complicated with a variable tint color to them in locations.
I already spent like a whole minute trying to figure out where's the line that just leads to Icelina.
Oh, it's right there. Garma,
So
straight down.
I think like the funny question here, just before we go ahead and move on, is will Icelina go ahead and show up a second time?
This episode's named after her. What are you talking about?
Oh, is it? I didn't notice. I just have episode 11 here.
Well, yeah, but next time on, it's like, what? Love's Remains, Icelina something?
Right. So I guess that kind of answers the question then. So we're getting the Icelina focus episode today. This is exactly what I expected out of Gundam, the love story. So, Theta, I think that's a perfect segue to go into your thoughts about this and everything else. What are your thoughts?
Well, not everything else. It's
Well,
like,
most of them.
that's therapy stuff.
Things within the Gundam sphere.
Well, specifically Universal Century Sphere. Because we do 2 Gundams now, too. I have to wonder if Char's effort to sabotage Garma 2 episodes back didn't also remove their chance to take out White Base. So far, we've seen the White Base tanking conventional munitions, but we know that Garma was going to be firing an energy beam a la a battleship counterpart. I don't think we've seen the Gundam take a hit from one of those before, so no telling if that could have worked. On the same token, we also know that they want to take both vehicles in one piece, so who knows if Char would have even wanted that to happen regardless of Garma's situation.
I have to imagine that the Gundam gets hit by a battleship weapon, it's over. That's like my initial assumption there. But at the same time, I think Garma and Char, I think in this instance, Char is being genuine. He doesn't know how he's going to do this. Everything has failed, and the two of them are literally just escalating to see if it works.
Well, this was specifically the episode where he messes with the communications equipment, so Garma can't even call in
Yeah.
to fire the weapon.
I think the more amusing idea is the fact that Char now has the most knowledge on this Gundam and is going to be using it as his own personal agent of assassination from a distance.
I don't know that you're building like a modus operandi, and I don't think we can do that based off of one thing. Also, we know that Char's not the kind to plan. He rolls with it.
That is true. I guess I'm taking the meta view of I know how I would do this, knowing everything that maybe all the characters don't. That this would be my plan.
Yeah, and I don't think you can apply that to Char because he's not like a fourth wall breaking character.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently, Lieutenant Matilda took the injured civilians with her, as well as Reed, which is why we still have civilians on board.
Okay, there we go.
Pointedly, all the sexist lines we've gotten so far have come from Amuro. Everyone else is just fine with women holding any position they want.
Amuro is, I guess, a teenager in the 70s.
Product of his time.
Yeah, literally the most product of his time possible.
Griff, it was a different time. Way future then, I guess.
The future past, of course.
Griff, it will have been a different time. It's got to be so minor, but I'm keeping up the white line relationship between Bright and Sayla. When she gets the communication from Federation HQ and takes the printout from the computer, you can see how unhappy she is the moment Bright takes it from her to read it. Despite Bright being second in command at the moment, and obviously needing to know what it says more than she does, just follows her displeasure in talking to him in the first couple of episodes as well. I don't anticipate this developing into a friendship at any point.
I guess we need more character moments with her, and I guess maybe some of the other white base crew. We get a lot of like Amuro perspective, I think, but I'm not sure. Now that I see like the white line here with like Artesia to everyone else, I'm just like, now you have a green line between Fraubo and Kai, but like, is that actually true? I'm not sure.
You're looking at different lines. That's their connection to white base. Because you see that green line connects everybody, not just Frau to Kai. Kai is individually connected to Maximilian, Howard, Cal, Kyato, because they were his crew back on the base. Whereas you can see Frau is individually connected to Kika, Katz, Let's, and Yato, because they also played around back on the thing, but she's also eminently like in charge of keeping up with the kids. And
we have
helped
like
her with
cliques,
that before.
I guess, forming is what I'm seeing. We have cliques on the ship, and we need more interaction between them.
But yeah, no, there's the overall line. If you look from where White Base is on the thing, that just traces down to everybody that's a crew member on White Base, including, if you follow, all the way down to Sayla.
This is just the biggest blob of characters.
Yeah, I mean, no different from over here, but they're just a little bit more spread out, I guess, or over here. It's just a matter of some characters have so many lines moving to them, it would be more of a pain to move them from where they are. And I know I've changed the layout of White Base's associated people so many times, but I think they're a bit easier than, say, the mass of circuit board lines that is Casval and Artesia's.
Oh gosh, yeah, no, they are more central so far than Amuro is to the plot.
Well, it's mostly everybody that Amuro gets into a fight with dies, except for Casval. And I guess possibly Dren, if you consider him to be in those fights.
Yeah. Alright, what else you got?
Amuro's point that they are just a distraction so the Federation can build new weapons might be true in a sense that the Federation is obviously building weapons to continue the war, but it would
Hmm.
seem Reed's willingness to abandon White Base so that they could escape from Zeon territory implies that there is no real plan to use it as a distraction. I feel like that's just another sign of Amuro's building paranoia and PTSD.
Yeah, it's really is the embodiment of Amuro's negativity, and he might not be entirely wrong. Was I think the perspective I was taking last time, as opposed to like it is entirely fictional. But like the Federation obviously wants the Gundam and wants more of it. Tem is gone, so is all the research. Amuro has read literally everything, and he's the only pilot of the only model. Of course they want to keep him. They're not just going to sacrifice him, right? No one else could possibly build more of them. Unless, of course, Tem is not actually dead. He got rescued 2 months ago, and he's been building more and just never bothered to follow up that his son exists.
Well, I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking that if there was a possibility to build more, it might still reside on what was it? Is it Noah? Is that what it's called? Side 7?
Yeah.
Because they destroyed all the extra parts, but it's always possible that the construction equipment and everything is still there. And then it might also serve to explain why we haven't seen the brunt of Federation forces yet.
Mhm.
That they might be there. Like, if you assume that the Zeon forces that were there called in more, they might be fighting
Yeah.
over Side 7 now if it's not completely destroyed.
Yeah, I think also maybe in the back of my mind is the idea Tem definitely went to Earth for an extended period of time, probably to talk about his project. And if the Federation was smart and wise, he would have brought plans with them, kept a copy of them on Earth, and then gone back to the actual project location. But
To the moon.
that's entirely conjecture.
Tem went to the moon, not to Earth.
Uh, no, I thought he took a trip to Earth.
No, he went to the moon. I'm pretty sure he went to the moon. He says to Amuro, I'm taking another trip back to the moon. I'm pretty sure that's where we see him giving the
Right,
not
right. No, but I'm
speech.
talking even more present than that was like during the first episode of this series. On his way back, he's saying, I'm now coming back from the Earth.
Pretty sure it's the moon
And then he
still.
looks at the picture and everything.
Pretty sure it's still the moon. And also I think the
Mhm.
manufacturing is also on the moon. That's why he was there to talk to those people. That
Mhm.
he doesn't go to. God, I can't remember the name of the place. It starts with a J. The place that the White Base is currently trying to get to. The place that
Yeah.
we saw Char building for some reason in Origin. It's like Jakku or something like that.
Yeah, they're basically heading to Venezuela, I think. Oh, I'm sorry, Valverde.
Well, no, I said Venezuela.
Yeah. Um,
But no, I'm pretty sure that. I mean, Tem could have gone to the Earth at some point. I'm not saying he's never gone to the Earth. I'm just saying, I think every time he's ever been mentioned going towards Earth, it's always been to go to the moon because
right, right.
that's where everything's happening.
Yeah, moon is the place.
I really appreciate Bright's stance on philosophy. There is a time for doing and a time for thinking, and a lot of anime characters get the order of things all wrong. Sulking and throwing a hissy fit in a war zone is sure to get you killed. Can you
Mhm.
imagine Amuro piloting a Juggernaut in '86? He'd be one of the first casualties, blown up while thinking about where his life has led him and his prospects over a good night's sleep. Survive the encounter first, then worry about living a good life. I know all this is just adding to his PTSD, and I'm no therapist, but having PTSD at least still means you're alive. Sulking and doing nothing is just a good way to wind up dead. And yet, it's only the mention of Char that gets Amuro out of his funk and not of not wanting to pilot the Gundam and actively wanting to try new forms of combat.
I think I got two thoughts there, and that's I think the reason we can definitely like Bright a whole lot here is just because of that practicality, right? He's like, look, I agree with you. This is important. Maybe this is bad, but also we need to survive first, no matter what. That is the primary objective, and he's focused on that, and he gets it done. He is incredibly useful and technically correct in the moment. So it's hard to dislike him no matter like what he does to Amuro, right?
Technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Exactly. And I think the second one is, I think maybe Amuro might start to project onto Char here, like to take his problems and put them onto a single named person who's trying to kill him. Which technically is the source of his problems in a way. But also to take any of the anger he might have at himself or a situation with others around him and push them out there onto Char. Thus, he gets motivated when he hears Char because he can use him as a punching bag.
Well, Char uses him as a punching bag.
That is also true. It doesn't work out for him, leading to further Amuro being traumatized.
Well, I mean, it's a back and forth, right? Char uses him as a punching bag, but Char doesn't win any of their engagements.
And I guess like swing point back to me saying Char using Amuro as an assassin, but we already covered that.
Yeah, disagree. Once again, Char doesn't make plans to take out Garma. He rolls with the situation to do what he can in the moment. He actively advises Garma not to go out in the attack, but when Garma does, he uses everyone's knowledge of the youngest Zabi son's pride to reinforce the radio silence his sabotage has created. One assumes that having been in many battles already with the Gundam and White Base, that he knows it's a situation Garma has no chance in compared to his own skills.
Yeah. Again, Char, the master of improv. No plan, just going with it. I really do love that perspective we've just picked up on how he operates. Like he's not a super genius, he's just an opportunist.
Well, we said that all during Origin too.
Yeah. It just makes him all the funnier.
It's quite the blow that the first Zabi to be taken down by Char's wrath is also the only one willing to leave Zeon for the woman he loves. He just couldn't leave well enough alone and had to give it one more shot at taking out White Base and the Gundam. Though, I'm not sure Char would have let Garma get away with just leaving it all behind him, knowing what sort of psychopath Char really is deep down. I at least appreciate that Char acknowledges that Garma was a good friend to him, but that his revenge on his father means more.
Yeah, the relationship between Char and Garma is definitely complicated, but I think it would have been the most complicated if Garma just said, you know what, I'm giving all of this up, my pride, all of this Gundam thing, it doesn't matter, I'm going to go ahead and leave right now with you. I don't think Char would have acted on anything there. I don't think he'd have anything to act on if he decided to back out that far, that quickly.
I think maybe that would have been a leave him for last situation. I think Char still is going to act on everybody.
Right.
I think he blames everybody, though. So he's actively killing the Federation, which is his revenge there. But he's
and
also actively working towards killing the zombies because of this guy. This guy. Wait, where am I looking? This guy right here.
Jimbarol.
Well, he only spent his waking days and nights while alive indoctrinating Casval into believing these guys did everything bad ever.
But the thing is, like, you are absolutely correct. He is basically a sociopath of some degree. Like, he doesn't immediately empathize. But at the same time, he doesn't seem so cold at all times that he would be completely blind to going, like, you know what, he just wants to live happily and in peace. Maybe I should let him. I think there's the capacity for Char to do that. But that would be an entirely different character moment and like an arc for him to take.
Well, that's why I called him a sociopath, Griff.
Yeah.
I think it's entirely possible and within his wheelhouse to act one way and do the other thing.
Right. I think maybe what we need to see is
what, Lino?
I don't know. What
the scene with Lino
like,
Fernandez?
Prove it.
Well, Lino Fernandez proves it because he done it twice now.
But what it needs to be is someone Char ostensibly does care about becoming injured because of his actions and his reaction to it. That, I think, would have to be it. He doesn't care about anyone that he has killed.
Sorry, I was about to use an example that you wouldn't get because you're not watching that show. No, I don't think that's a good example. That would be a good example of his willingness to push forwards on his plan if he had to make a choice between, say, Sayla and, say, Degwin, for example. But
Yeah.
I don't think that counters the two previous examples.
Yeah, fair. So, more Char analysis in the future, where we're going to get more of him for sure.
I think the fact that Revel considers White Base to be a fully operational combat unit intentionally only evacuated the injured, he must believe that anyone on board that was once a civilian that has fought in their own defense has now been pressed into military service. At the very least, I wouldn't be surprised to find out as such. When Bright tells Amuro there are still civilians on board to protect, and Amuro says to himself that he is a civilian, I think that's the clue. If Bright, the person highest in the chain of command on board, but also closest to the situation, considers Amuro part of the crew, there's little doubt in my mind that even higher up distant authority likely thinks the same way, especially if they're all especially if there are already child soldiers on the front, as has been mentioned before.
Yeah, I guess the entire crew has been a little bit press-ganged into service, and I think that kind of follows through with the both sides are incredibly desperate kind of position the show is like trying to portray, right? They wouldn't be doing this if both sides weren't running low on like manpower or resources, and this wasn't like a long-term strenuous war no one should be doing. But I guess if Bright, of course, has to make a report, he's gonna say, yeah, I'm totally not using civilians.
Well, they know they are, because of Luna, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, I think we could go ahead and put this a pin on the board saying Federation also bad.
I think the thought process that was in my mind when I was writing this down was more so the distance between, say, like a retail store, right? That your management or the authority might come from a distant location that has no connection to your local establishment. So when they tell you to do something, they don't automatically know it's best just because it worked at 100 different stores.
Yeah. They're just saying if you already have them working, keep them working.
I know I questioned what Icelina was going to do if she got in the plane, but I also have to think that her presence in the area might have distracted Garma enough that he might not have died. Either he turns around to protect her from crossfire, or doesn't call for Char's trick for being distracted by her radio communications. Hell, maybe she would have died instead of him. There all would have all sorry. There would have been so many more variables to the situation. Either way, we can certainly put some of the blame on her abusive and anti-Zeon father towards Garma's death, I think.
I think the inverse of it is a fun doubling down, right? It's like Garma initially isn't maybe too wedded to the idea of like the Zeon principles and whatever. He's ready to leave if he has to just for love, which makes sense. But if Icelina died and it was because of like Amuro's stray shot or something, I could guarantee that this would be like the Dark Path Garma, where like he doubles down and says like, because of revenge, I must do this, and then he goes full into it.
He gets killed by Char. I don't think your
Yeah,
Dark
instead he got
Path.
killed by her.
No, I mean, and in your thing, I'm saying would get killed by Char. I don't think your
Yeah.
Dark Path Garma changes anything.
I think it just changes Garma himself and maybe his place in the story, were he to live after that moment, which, I mean, this is all the hypothetical anyway.
Right. I just mean that a Dark Path Garma or a Revenge Garma is not any considerable difference between normal working Garma, which is to say, he'll be on the battlefield, Char will find a way to kill him.
I think the context of it changes things. Like, he's currently suicidal in the pursuit of pride, or was, I mean, since he's dead. But like a Garma suicidal in the pursuit of revenge is a different flavor.
He
That's what I'm saying.
he was not suicidal in the regards to pride. He wanted to be put on the front lines, but it doesn't make him suicidal.
I guess the better way to describe it is Garma is foolish in general while trying to get the approval of his family.
I guess I want to disagree with that too, only in the fact that if everybody is foolish, like your definition of foolish
Mhm.
here, I have to say would also encompass everybody else in the show. And if
Yeah.
everybody's foolish, that's the standard, and then thus nobody is foolish then. We, from an
All right.
outside observer perspective, could call them foolish, but them
Yeah.
in the world see everybody's actions as equivalent and thus are not foolish.
Yeah, yeah. All right, what else you got?
Despite all that rich boy shit Char says and the pampered upbringing we saw him have, Garma post Dawn Rebellion was a consummate Zeon soldier. He didn't want his promotions to be due to nepotism. He demanded to earn them via work, and we saw him on the ground on one of the sides as well as on Earth in the danger zones, earning his place. When White Base opened fire on him from behind, he didn't try and run away to save himself. He ordered the Gaw to turn around, a full 180, so that he could ram it, since they could no longer pull up. His last words, "Glory to the Principality of Zeon."
There you go. Garma is at least a person who sticks to his really silly principles, right?
Again, you call them silly, but literally people are living and dying for this shit.
Yeah,
And my
yeah.
my point is that
Our brave
apparently
soldiers of the
I wrote
Federation.
this knowing exactly when you were going to call him foolish, apparently. So my point is that he's a jobber. He's not a suicidal fool.
Right, right. That's fair. That's fair.
White Base has said they were so low on ammo that they wouldn't have enough to get through another battle. They said that in the middle of a battle. They then had to go all out against Garma's Gaw. I can't want to say Chaw or something. Against Garma's Gaw. I have to imagine the next fight we see, they will have a shortage that will affect them, or they will have to scrounge for ammo, unless they get right to the Federation space, that is.
Maybe this is the scrounging episode then. That's why we're focusing on Icelina. Yeah,
I
gotta find out.
don't know. That's it for me.
All right then. So I think with our thoughts concluded, let's go ahead and get into it and watch. But before we do, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can go ahead and follow us over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Hit the link down below. Join the Discord. Let me know who you think would win in a fight, Master Asia or the Spiral King. I also just don't imagine that's where Sydney is.
In the center of the globe? No, I don't think so either.
Well, I mean, it depends on where your camera's pointed and what angle your camera's pointed at, right? Because you
What?
kind of imagine if the
Mhm.
globe being like this, that Sydney would be like right here. But if you just turn your camera,
There, I think the thing that's making it difficult is that there's no ice caps visible on that version of the Earth. So you can't really pinpoint anything because of it.
well,
You
we
don't have an
know.
orientation.
Also, that could
That
be
was
the
the moon,
moon.
so that was different.
Yeah, that's what I just said at the same time. What if we've been looking at the moon the whole time and it's literally just an eclipse situation?
Well, in that case, we've been immensely foolish.
Well, in fairness to us, nobody's pointed it out to counter us either. But there could be a
Mhm.
whole, solar eclipse situation, and that's just the moon getting into a spot. I don't know though. It looked like clouds and not the lunar surface.
I think on a similar vein, when it comes to orientation, I'm always thinking about the spaceships in space always being on the same plane because, they have to face each other directly and things like that. No one's like upside down relative to someone else.
I think we've done that before here.
I think in Seed they at least mentioned taking maneuvers that would put them not on the same plane to each other, but they're never in the same frame anyway.
Well, we've done multiple battles here where the people have been on different planes. Specifically because we've been going down in the atmosphere and different combats are happening above and below the base.
I think that's a good point, yeah. There is at least
Hell, you
one
can see
situation.
here, you just saw right there, the Zeon ships are staggered in a V formation, not just up and not just parallel, but also up and down, like they're elevated slightly down and back.
Mm. But yeah, anytime I see any space media, I just gotta be conscious of that. Icelina goes to dig up Garma's grave.
地球から最も離れた宇宙空間に数十の宇宙都市が浮かぶ。これこそ地球を自らの独裁によって治めようとする
Fallout time.
支配する宇宙都市国家ジオンである。
But not for no reason. Mind you,
Oh,
the
that
Federation
sketchy
was
shit
killing
that-
them out in the streets.
系の建造物の中に人々の生活空間がある。すなわち円筒形の直径は 6km 余り。
Oh, hey,
長
statistics.
さに至っては 30km 以上ある。
Yeah, that's fucking huge.
その中には
But not as big as you might have thought.
が作られて人々は地球上と全く同じ生活を営んでいた。今、ジオン軍宇宙攻撃軍司令ドズルザビ中将が前線基地から帰国する。
Oh, we're going back to Dozel. Been a while.
It's the Dozel episode. Hell yeah. Dozel's gonna be in complete tears.
I mean, you might not know yet.
He will soon.
半年前と同じだ。何の補強工事もしておらん。
宇宙都市は遠心力によって重力を発生させているため
It's also our science
人々
episode.
はカプセルの内側を大地
But we gotta set the stage, build the world a little bit, right?
ジオン
And this is like pretty standard sci-fi, right? The cylindrical centrifugal force station.
Yes, we've talked about it before.
Yeah. I still love it though.
サビ家松代の保険に関わります。
ギレン、わしはただガルマの死を。
恐れながらドズルザビ様、キシリアザビ様、ただいま前線よりご到着でございます。
Oh, the whole family's here.
父上、
早かったな。
Yeah, I guess they are now.
父上。
Oh no, Dozel's wife isn't here.
Yeah.
And their kid.
兄貴、俺はまだ信じられん。今にもあいつが顔を出すんじゃないかと。過去を思いやっても戦いには勝てんぞ。ドズル。
Kieran's sympathetic as always.
あやつこそ俺さえも使いこなしてくれる将軍にもなろうと楽しみにもしておったもの。
It's not quite there in the animation, but you can hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
ギレン、静かに丁重にガルマの冥福を祈ってやってくれまいか。
Yeah, no, it's just still frame for 30 seconds.
It's a moment of silence, Griff. What do you want?
I wasn't expecting them to follow through in frame.
イセリナ様。先日のパーティーでも遠くからお姿を拝見いたしました。いえ、
I'm mourning. What do you want?
He heard you.
イセリナ様の美しさを称えておりました。ここがガルマ様のお使いになったお部屋でございます。
I love to fill my room with sculptures that I feel will kill me if the gravity goes wonky.
So, since this is made so far in the past, I wouldn't expect like a computer on the desk, but I'm almost surprised that there's no like television in the entire apartment.
ございましょう。しかし、このままでは済ませません。イセリナ様、我々は必ず。
ダロたち
は。
私をガウに乗せてください。
イセリナ様。
The one that crashed?
No, they've got multiple Gauls.
Okay.
せめて一致なりとも報いたいのです。
いやしかしそれは
ダロタ注意。
That lieutenant is about to get bullied.
いやいくらなんでもまだ早いぞ。ここまで来りゃついたも同じで連邦軍の迎えが来てくれるっちゅうんじゃからな。わしら気が短い。着地と同時に一番乗りで。
They got they attacked while you weren't on the ladder.
Yeah.
なんです？
エアポケットかな。
乱気流に入りました。
Ah, no, nobody attacked.
It's a giant fan produced by Zeon.
内蔵されていてジャベリンにならなかったんです。
お前どっちかっていうと技術者向きなんだな。
そうですか。
Yeah, you're a kid with tiny hands. Perfect.
Showing off his talents.
両方使えんのかジャベリに。
そりゃそうでしょ。同じものですから。11時の方向に敵発見。3機編隊。レーザー計測。ガウです。ガウの3機が来ました。
Well, these two never take a break. They're always up there in the chairs.
So one Gaul and forces has been too much for them to take. Now there's 3 of them. They're dead, right?
I mean, arguably, one Gaul and a couple of forces weren't too much for them to take, considering they won. Garma's dead, Griff. What do you want?
乱気流に巻き込まれるぞ。帰って直撃よけになります。
How's this gonna work?
Pure magic. He's about to go on a kill streak.
一気にあそこまでジャンプするぞ。できるか。
やってみます。来たぞ。目標をモビルスーツに絞れ。
I just mean before he was jumping to do everything.
なんとしてもガルマ大佐の恨みを晴らしてご覧に入れますよ。イセリナ様。
Alright, at least she's not like sitting on a gun or something. At least the lieutenant isn't that crazy.
Oh no, I just kind of assumed it was like a...
Oh, this is positively crazy. I love it.
ジュンさん、近いからすごい威力があるぞ。
音さえ壊しちまえば。
2号機、3号機を援護しろ。
Yeah, where's the cover at?
There's no power steering in these giant planes. I can't believe it.
I just mean, like, why... Did I blink and miss them deploying a bunch of planes? You know, where's all the backup?
Nowhere to be seen.
モビルスーツめ。
戦闘機はないのですか。
残念ながら。
Oh, but there's the answer.
実戦に出られるのは。お、あれは。
The scout thing?
こちらシャアだ。手を貸すぞ。
Yeah, I think it is.
ガルマ大佐直属のダロタ注意です。誰でもいい。コックピットを狙え。コックピットですか。腹だ。ガンダムは腹が心臓だ。わかりました。私は木馬を攻撃。
Yeah, the background repeated there for a second.
I mean, it's just the sky. It's fine.
No, it did like a jump cut real quick to repeat again.
連邦軍から入電です。
See what I mean? Same look. She gave him the same look.
援軍は望めそうもありません。
You bitch, keep pulling that on my hand and you get slapped in the face yourself.
問題になってるくらいだから。
なぜだ。我々がどうなってもいいというのか。
まだ伝聞はありますよ。
避難民収容の準備。
She read it faster than he did.
S109、N23 ポイントへ向かわれたし。未来、震度 1.5 度変身だ。はい。敵です。10時の方向。
I just can't believe that they send a bunch of gauze with no fighter support.
They're just out for revenge.
あ、安全装置が。
Look, Hayato is literally learning every position all the time. I'm not gonna blame him for getting shit wrong sometime.
One single bomb.
Massive one, though.
やられました左舷後部です
ダメだパワーの切り替えが効かない操縦不能
And that's all Char needed to do. He's already won.
Well, because most of their shit is, like, on top of a gaw.
Hmm.
And like you said, all they could do before, he didn't have the power to fly, it's the power to jump really high. He's Golden Age Superman.
So remember the last plane that hit started crashing and it exploded?
You mean the one that was being shot at by a bunch of weapons?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this one's not. Goddamn those New York sandstorms.
Everybody's dead. Char is now going to step out and one-handedly take over the entire thing, like he did several times
I'm surprised
before.
he did just land and get out. Why? I guess if you only had the one bomb.
うまくしてあの木馬をこちらにいただける手はないものか
I don't know, man. It's like Luna 2 all over again. You're not gonna run in and single-handed it.
But what if?
未来よくやってくれた
私の力じゃありません
If only there were seatbelts here or something.
謙遜だなセイラさん大丈夫ですか
ええ
避難民たちの状況を調べてみてくれませんか
はい
Let me use your shoulder to balance my gun.
大丈夫ですか
In that half second I got distracted, I didn't realize it wasn't Kai in the gun cannon. As it
Yeah.
usually is.
逃がさないでください絶対に倒してください
パワーセクションの応急処置は済みました。これでかなりの無理は効くはずです。
よしパワーセクションいけるな
はい、25%の出力。
Who are you? I've never seen anyone that blonde.
こっちはオッケー異常はないわ
There were soldiers on here before that were just injured. So,
They're just on the ship, never seen.
今敵の攻撃
oh, we've seen a bunch of them.
できない
アムロ、リュウと連絡を取りましょうか。
Like the people who taught these guys how to run the consoles that they're at right now. They were just standing around them like in slings and everything before.
Right, I guess they all didn't die of injuries like the captain.
いやわしらもう我慢できね
Alright,
よせ
look. Keeping the refugees safe? Good. If they run out in the middle of a sandstorm in a battlefield, that's kind of their fault.
敵が近くにいるかもしれません早く戻るんです
ジオンが狙ってるのはホワイトフェイスとガンダムだわしら関係
Does he have a mustache or no? He doesn't have a mustache, right?
No, he didn't.
Okay, because he looked like our coffee bean farmer guy.
こんな砂漠に降りてどうするつもりです
I'm down for a war crime or two, apparently.
He's just straight going for it.
I guess he can make the argument. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt the battle here. To be fair, Bright is wearing the right colors for the desert battle. Everybody else is not. I guess
There's
that my
no
point was going to be
camouflage.
that I guess Char can make the argument that they all looked like soldiers to me.
Right, but at the same time, I believe Sayla has just noticed this happen and went, Hold up, if that's my brother, he just killed like 3 people.
父上、今は戦時下ですぞ。国民の戦意高揚をより確かなものにするためにも、国を挙げての国葬こそ最もふさわしいはず。ガルマの死は、一人ガルマ自身のものではない。ジオン公国のものなのです。
私は議連に賛成です。
いや、それよりもシャアの処分だ。ガルマを守りきれなかった奴を処分すれば。
Also immediately turning his back on
この
Char.
ようなことはあなたの権限で行えばよろしいこと。大切なことは儀式なのですよ、父上。
The evolution of Caecilia's hair is not my favorite so far.
国民の地球連邦への憎しみをかきたてることこそ寛容ではないのですかな。父上、シャアのことはどうずる左遷させておけ。父上、ジオン公国の皇王として今ここでご決裁を。
He just fell asleep.
Oh, he's mourning, Griff. Come on.
I know. I'm still gonna make fun of him.
With this toy I just invented. Kids are gonna love it.
Yeah. Oh, it's melting.
It's just a shield, after all. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Like, it makes perfect sense, but I don't think I've seen another Gundam willing to do that. Oh, that's terrifying.
Hey.
Well, they weren't afraid for long.
The crazy thing here is that he got a cut, and we see no like wind blowing through the screen where the thing flew through and hit him.
Oh yeah. What I'm finding crazy here is that Icelina is personally taking command now. This is not a good scenario.
Well, I mean, I guess we just lost that one. He threw it, it just like went in and didn't come out the other side.
Well, that was a direct hit, though. I gotta give her credit, honestly.
Yeah, but he rebounded less than when Char hits him.
I'm actually more surprised nothing exploded.
Beware survivors. Grab his gun.
Oh, she's gotta do it.
Oh, he died.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear.
Is she gonna get out there, point a gun at him, realize he's a kid, and then not be able to do it?
100%. Alright, props to her again, sliding down the nose of the plane. That gun barrel's massive. Amuro's first question, who's Garma?
A death only Spider-Man
Okay.
villain, Spider-Man girlfriends would understand.
I was about to say that was like surprisingly soft, but clearly she's dead, right?
Yeah. Well, I think she was dead when she fell. Not even when she hit the ground.
Succumbed to injury.
どれ私のモビルスーツは電気系統がめちゃめちゃに焼き切れていて使えなかったことにしておけ。
I like how they're just in it together.
I mean, Dren's in his position because Garma gave it to him. So, but yeah, no, I assume some sort of injury incurred from the impact, like killed the other guy. So the fact that she got up was probably just willpower alone.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I can vibe with that.
Oh, thank God, Michael Ironside got back to Earth.
Oh, I love like the dirtiness of all the Gundams right now.
This is what her father would have wanted.
Buried in an unmarked grave in the middle of the desert. They're missing half the story. Of course they are.
Well, I mean, Amuro didn't kill Char. I mean, Garma. That's why he's confused. It's not he's missing the story. It's not even he's not even part of the story.
So I think we can add that to the Amuro trauma board right there. Things that'll fuck him up forever.
Well, cool. You can make that one. I'm not making the Amuro Charma board. I can't say fucking anything.
Look, he's already dead inside. Look at him.
Nah. He's ascended.
Exhausted, sure.
He's ascended. Oh! It's Ral. That was Ral and Harmon.
They got new mobile suits.
Oh, it's the episode!
Oh, it's the one you've been waiting for.
I think so, anyway.
Hell yeah.
A lot of people keep saying their favorite episode is 13, and I only imagine because of the thing I'm waiting for. But it could be a blue ball episode of here's the setup for what you're waiting for.
Next time is 12.
I know.
So you're right.
I'm right about what?
You're right, it's blue ball episode, I bet.
Well, no, I'm saying it could be. I don't know what... I remember I specifically asked people not to tell me why their favorite episode was their favorite episode.
Right, so we just gotta guess here.
Yeah, so I have no idea why 13 is those people's favorites. Maybe something amazing happens in 13. After the one thing I know about, I know nothing. Like, I know Garma was going to die because of the episode that I know about.
Yeah.
And I don't even know the whole episode. I just know the one thing that happens in the episode that I know about. So, the fact that it was related to Garma, only reason I knew it. But when that episode happens, I don't know. Could be 12, could be 13. That's the only thing I'm waiting for. But after that, the whole Universal Century, I have no fucking idea. Except for, of course, the fact that Dozel's kid grows up because I have an older picture of her on the concept board.
Right, but one character survives the next, I guess, 16 years minimum. So we'll be going for a while here. All right. So I think the thing on my mind from this episode is going to be the parallels between the sorry, I'm trying to remember what the family is called.
Which one?
Zabi, yeah, the Zabi family. The Zabi family grieving, and the moment of quiet they have, like, bearing Icelina, where both sides are, like, considering the consequences that, like, this fight has brought upon them.
You mean Icelina?
Yeah, Icelina.
Well, I think you combined Caecilia and Icelina's name together.
I may have slurred the word then, but yeah, no.
Well, no, I mean, you literally combined them together, because Caecilia and Icelina, and you said Icelia, which is literally the amalgamation of these two people.
I'm trying to picture that combo, and I think it just explodes the universe. They're two opposites, really.
No, I think that would be... Oh, God, where do I go? Over here. That would just be Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Remember her undercover background name was literally a blonde with the longer hair and was
Right, but
nicer to
it's still
people.
Icelina inside. But anyway,
Well, it doesn't matter who's inside; it's who you're outward expressing.
Well, like, I think Arboro and, like, his group of close friends there who are doing the bearing, because it's just them, right? Are considering from this, like, the consequences of their actions. Like, they're seeing, like, the further depth that things go beyond just the person you killed who was trying to kill you. Like, there's externalities. And of course, it's Armoro having to confront it face to face. So, again, trauma point to Armoro.
I mean, maybe. I think Amuro was just mostly confused at the moment. Vengeance? Vengeance against me? Because that's what it literally says.
I think it's fair to say, Amuro, given his position and his previous thoughts, he is in fact thinking about all the people he's had to kill, and having this person pop up, he can make the mental connection that I killed someone she cared about and she came for me out of vengeance. I am now the person that I've been killing this whole time.
I don't know. It's a difficult jump for me because we know the reality. Not the reality. We know the truth.
Yeah, we have the dramatic irony on our side.
We have the meta knowledge of what she's actually up to versus your new perspective of she could have been the wife of anybody you've ever killed before, which is a completely different way to look at it.
Yeah, that would have to be the Armoro's perspective, because he literally said, "Who is this? I don't know."
I don't know, because his confusion is such that it doesn't read that way to me, that that's the way he's taking it. The way it reads to me is like, what did I do to you? Who are you? He is reading it. I know the next episode he can break down crying in his bedroom for all I know. But the way he's reading it right now, it could literally be in a comedy. Who are you?
Oh,
What?
gosh, no, it's like, for you, it was the most important day of your life. For me, it was Tuesday.
Well, it's just like, it's not even a soldier, because he's used to these soldiers popping up and attacking him. It's just a woman in civilian clothing.
Yeah, the shock of a woman in a dress stepping up onto the cockpit of the largest military airship that has ever existed, with a gun pointed at you, it's gotta be confusing in
I
and of
also
itself.
just realized this has got to hit him right in the sexism, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Armoro getting a life lesson. Anyone can kill him.
I don't know. I think it's going to reinforce it badly, though, because his point has always been women have no place on the battlefield. And this woman points a gun at him and instantly dies. It's like, well, that's an affirmation.
It's sexist, but for all the wrong reasons that are entirely like supernatural. It's like, I saw a woman pick up a gun and die once. I can't allow anyone else to do this.
Griff, I don't think
All right.
I don't think you analyze what you just said there. You said sexist, but for all the wrong reasons, as though there were right reasons.
All right, Dave, you got me there. All right, but it's also interesting seeing like the moment of silence in the zombie family, their concern over Garma, the fact they're going to be grieving the entire next 2 episodes here about it, right? It's going to be interesting to see more of their perspective, because now the war has taken a very specific direct toll against them, and throughout the origins, we didn't have anything comparable to happen beyond Dozo going, I did the war crime. I killed hundreds of like my little baby girl here, and for what?
How quickly you've already forgotten Sasro.
I don't think the rest of the family cared about Sasro.
Sure they did. Dozel brought him.
Celia didn't.
Celia killed him.
And Garrett is a sociopath too, so.
Girin, you mean?
Yeah.
And Dozel brought him up plenty of times. I mean, Dozel was in the fucking car with him. It would have been a twofer if not for the fact Dozel's a Hulk.
Dozel activated his Hulk rage. But yeah, no, I guess it's only because like he popped up for like a moment and then disappeared that like it doesn't stick out to me. They didn't spend a lot of time grieving for him. They just mentioned that he died.
No, well, they didn't just mention that he died. We saw it happen.
And that's not like the consequences of war kind of narrative thing. That's just like their personal infighting led to it, which is a different consequence.
I mean, we were camera in the car. We saw him explode. This wasn't just a passing mention. Dozel's scars are from that.
Mhm.
We're reminded of it every time we see Dozel on screen.
Right, but I guess the wrap up point on the war is bad is that death comes for everybody. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like something poignant here. It's just not immediately coming.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think your first point was the poignant point.
Oh yeah.
Of what you think Amuro is experiencing is, I think, more poignant, expressed beyond the fact that Amuro, that war has more victims than the people that die in it.
So I think on that note, let's go ahead and load up the next one.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's not the moon.
Yeah,
those are definitely
that's
clouds.
atmosphere. But it's completely indefinite, like in terms of continents or land masses. It's just cloud mass.
I don't think it's indefinite. It's clearly a finite amount of planet there.
Like, you could definitely, like, pick a portion of the planet where just, like, here's just the Pacific Ocean, and you see nothing else on this entire side. It's like, all right, figure out where you are now.
Well, I mean, it was the late 70s. It could be a speed that they, didn't have the will to draw an completely accurate planet. Also, the fact that we've just said that we've devastated the planet, and we might not want to draw that out and define anything that we haven't written out as a plot point for the future.
Yeah, and that's like a perfectly fair point there. It's just like, you don't want to commit when you don't know if you're going to, even. I'm trying to think if there's a significance, like Amuro and then Bright, like, are the two characters who are doing, like, the hand-raising gesture there.
Everybody does.
Like, to start with.
Kai does. Everybody does.
Well, everyone does, but, like, it's Amuro, then Bright, then everyone else, right?
You're saying the order of events?
Yeah, the order. Does that matter at all? I'm gonna keep in mind.
That's kind of like your opinion, man.
What do you say, dude?
万全の準備をして戦いを挑んできたジオン軍の前に地球連邦軍はなすすべもなかった。
They literally had so much more firepower than Zeon at the start of the war.
ジオンの攻撃を避けてサイド7を脱出したホワイトベースは少年たちの手によって地球へ降り立った。そしてザビ家の末裔ガルマザビを討ち取り、今太平洋上にある。
So now even the narrator is attributing it to White Base. I mean, technically, sure, they did shoot him. I don't know.
They did the actual shot, yeah. But also the crossing the Pacific Ocean?
2ヶ月ほどのうちに一度ジオンに帰ります。ですが父上、その前に必ず一つ大戦果を挙げてご覧に入れますよ。親の七光で将校だ元帥だなどと国民に笑われたくはありませんからね。では、お目にかかる日を楽しみにしております。
It's such a good trope.
まだこんなところにいらっしゃったのですか?
Well, I mean, he was listening to all of Garma's shit before, too, so...
Yeah.
お役目だけは果たしていた。
分かっておる。
That almost sounds like a negative crowd.
No, they were cheering.
It's just the way the sound came across, that's all.
Griff, I said cheer it, not gear it.
It's not even people cheering, just people yelling.
This little battle cruiser thing we got. It's Rumble.
Did he get shorter?
fatter too.
Yeah.
That's right, Harmon's gotten older too. And it's only been 8 months.
What really ages you, you know?
航続距離を計算に入れなければな。このザンジバルなら問題ありませんが、他のはただの大気圏突入カプセルですから。そういうことだ。
では、このまま見過ごすおつもりですか？
私の任務はガルマ様の敵討ちだ。ドズル中将から直々の命令をなんでやり過ごすものかよ。
Not again.
でも、ただいま大気圏に突入している途中です。ご無理は。
しかし手出しをせずに行き過ぎる男なぞ。お前は嫌いなはずだったな。
I feel like they're a lot closer now than they were before.
I mean, I guess they've been through a couple of death threats together, you know?
また修理？
ああ。
アムロ、元気ないな、アムロ。
そうかい？
何なの？
ガンダムの予備のコンピューター。
アムロ、冷めないうちに食べてね。
ああ。
アムロ、脳波レベル落ちてる。
It can just read your brain?
ハロ、邪魔しちゃダメよ。
Why not?
Just rolls off.
I mean, that might explain why the Witch from Mercury one was a psychologist or a therapist, right?
Yeah, yeah.
My choice of brown sandwich or green sandwich.
What happened
And
to
yellow.
his room, though?
We don't know if this is his room or not.
This is a closet.
It can't be his room, remember? Completely different look. I think, yeah, he's just working in like a workroom.
I guess so.
およそ40トン。
なんでそんなになるまで放っといたんだ。
ろくに整備する暇を取れないのを無理して。
ここは遊び場じゃないんだぞ。出ていけ。
ブライトさん。遊んでんじゃないやい。遊んでんじゃないや。
I've never been so sympathetic to kids before.
I know, right? Every time they appear on screen, someone just yells at them. They need hugs.
すまなかった。掃除続けてくれ。頼むな。
I guess maybe except for Marie and Nadia. I keep saying if she dies, I'm quitting that show.
別に。
分かっているよ。言いたいことは。
I see your lunch delivery has arrived.
あなたが中心になる以外ないし。
Look, man, if I got a fresh French fry here, I'm gonna eat it.
It's alright, Griff. I've had these. So.
This episode brought to you by Pizza Hut.
And random French fries.
I think they just changed up the design of the rooms.
No. No, because that was the design we're used to. I guess maybe the camera would just point it off the... Oh. The gun salute. Okay.
Gun salute. Yeah, I know.
I'm like, where the fuck is White Base?
ふるさとにでも帰ったんだろう。な、どうする？
You know, the guy responsible is the one guy who hasn't been talking.
Gotta wonder what Icelina thinks about Char at this point in time.
God damn them in physics. Physics as well. Don't worry, I saw this in an old movie. It was called Wrath of Khan.
The Zeon, they can't think three-dimensionally.
Well, that doesn't work as a joke, Griff, because literally they're doing that. They're coming at them from above and on the side. But we come to find out that The PTSD is real.
Yeah, he's just being traumatized.
By the person you had the least interaction in killing. No, you idiot, that's lightning. Yeah, I was making a joke, but he literally... There's confirmation, it is Hammond.
Being so space, you've never seen it before.
Well, I mean, why would you, right? I understand the colonies...
Station.
Yeah, I understand the colonies need for, like, rain, but...
ECM 最大出力で発信しています。未来どこかに着陸してやり過ごす。このままではミノフスキー粒子を無駄にするだけだ。できるか。やってみます。前方赤外線監視モニター使います。レーザーセンサー地形読み取り開始。
I thought they were just a natural byproduct of your reactor.
包囲侵入角確認。やれるか。
I guess that's also fuel? I don't know. I'm confused now on that one. They found the one rock in the entire Pacific Ocean.
What?
What?
Why are they in the Pacific Ocean?
Because they said they were in the Pacific Ocean. They were literally crossing it. That's what they said at the beginning of the episode. I know. I'm confused too.
So, from California to New York, back to the Pacific Ocean is what you're saying? And
That's right.
Their goal is Venezuela?
That is correct. Not one bit of this journey makes sense, but I'm ready for it.
I feel like we should have been counting the slaps.
Yeah, just have a slap counter on screen.
You notice he was smiling when he said it this time? I think he's starting to enjoy it.
Sorry, Amuro, Bright's orders. You need 3 slaps before I tell you what to do. And after that slap, you two became intimate. Shows me wearing the helmet. How many times are you getting slapped around? It's weird that the woman... Oh, new in middle cutscene. Ooh, yeah.
It's weird that the woman's death puts him into this position, considering he has the least involvement in her death. Literally, I mean, I don't know. Unless he's blaming himself for the Gaw getting shot down, but he didn't do that either.
It's entirely guilt-based is what it is, which, fair, right?
Oh, he changed outfits. He must be getting ready to go into a mobile suit.
Oh yeah, we get Ramble versus Amuro. That's gonna be good.
Is it?
Guy who's been doing the mobile suit piloting since day 1 versus Kid.
Yeah, I don't want Ramble to die. I think he's in both of our top 3s from Origin.
Yeah, he was.
Or maybe this is just his pilot uniform. Look, if you have to drag him, 1, don't look so happy doing it. And 2, maybe it's not the best time to bring him out.
Ramble, always a man of action.
I mean, they were close before, but I don't think I ever saw him, like, hugging and kissing her. So it's like... Oh, he does his own custom model. Well, no, I mean back at the bar. Oh, Kuz is here, too. So we did get to serve with him.
Hell yeah.
Well, no, remember Kuz in the left last time in Origin is like, I joined up so I could serve with you, and then you had to go and do, leave the service. It's not fair.
Right.
Well, here he is. He got what he wanted.
And now he's gonna explode.
申し訳ありません。我々はこれ以上現在地に滞空するわけにはいきません。
ご苦労でした。基地をお迎えなさい。すぐ追いかけましょう。
了解。ご分をお祈りし
Oh,
ま
it
す。
means they're close to a base, too.
Does she actually have a official role if she's giving orders like this, or are people just familiar with her enough?
これでこっちにも勝ち目は出てきた。ガンダム、ガンキャノン、出撃どうした？ザクは
I
追
don't
っている
know.
んだぞ。
She's worn so many uniforms before, I can't tell which ones might be real.
なんだと？アムロにも出撃させろ。それしかザクは防げん。
荒領事ってわけか。アムロ、出撃だ。アムロ。
Amara's just dead.
アムロ、発進するぞ。みんな。
Yeah, I mean, I literally don't think you should do anything with the Gundam right now, since nobody else can pilot it.
I want the Gundam to launch and then just flop face down in the dirt.
返事が聞こえないわ。
いいですよ。発進でしょ。
かなわんセイラ、ガンダムを発進させろ。
了解。アムロ、しっかりしなさい。
It's not an automated suit. Well, yeah, it is, though. That's the part I love. Is that we know the suit learns and fights for itself, too.
Will the suit learn Amuro's depression?
No, I'm just about to say, Bright is like, launch it anyway. But I guess there is an element that the pilot's not completely necessary.
ザクか。まさか。
I guess since they haven't like elaborated too much on it, I can only imagine it being a interpret the intentions of the pilot kind of deal.
Rumble's Custom, whatever it's called.
He's the mid boss.
アムロ援護しろ。ホワイトベース各機銃座、援護に急げ。
よーし、行くぞ。砲撃をやめてくれ。しまった。
アコース、クラッカーだ。
なんだ。
Well, clearly it's a grenade.
Oh, okay. That's brand new.
Well, I mean, we already know that Rumble's a genius, so...
これはしかしヒートロッドに耐えられるかな。
With his new toy to sell.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll definitely stick on the model real well.
Well, it's built into the arm, so it's fine. Like that X-Men villain.
やる。あのモビルスーツのパイロットめ。よくも自分のバズーカの弾の爆発でやられる。
Like, if we didn't get him in the origin, Ramble's like introduction here has already been like perfect, right?
あれもモビルスーツか。ハヤト、急げ。援護射撃をしてやってくれ。
I think if Rumble was smart, he'd retreat right now.
アコース、ポズンは後ろの2台のモビルスーツに仕掛けろ。私は白いのをやる。
But he's
Nope,
doing
split
what
up.
every other Zeon officer before him has ever done.
やってやるぞ。新型のモビルスーツがなんだ。
And Amuro's in Berserker mode.
やつの武器は。うわ
Didn't even get to see the slap, he just is. I think fair to say Ramble's never seen someone fling a shield at him before.
Hasn't he?
This
Didn't he in the
parry into
origin?
gut punch. No, I don't think so. It's been a minute though.
違うぞ。ザクなんかと走行もパワーも。ハムロー立て。
I think it's probably slower but more deliberate. That's what it feels like.
アコース、ポズン、交代しろ。帰還するぞ。
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Smart villain. Let's go.
I don't want to have to cross out the last of the raw line off the concept board.
Imagine if they actually hear like a transmission and
Rumble
Never
has no
mind.
connection to the white base people, so it wouldn't matter.
That's right. He's never met people in person like that.
Well, he has no connection to any whatsoever.
I was gonna say maybe Sayla, but like that would have to be entirely on his side.
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind.
He would have to figure that out.
I forgot about that.
I feel like I'm watching a UFO take off.
No, that would have been 6 different UFOs taking off, Griff. Oh, it's the thing! It's the thing!
Time!
地球連邦に比べ我がジオンの国力は30分の1以下である。にもかかわらず今日まで戦い抜いてこられたのはなぜか。諸君、我がジオン公国の戦争目的が正しいからだ。
ジオンめ、当てつけに実況放送を世界中に流している。
Such a powerful broadcast, it's going to multiple other shows as well.
宇宙にまで膨れ上がった地球連邦を支配して54年。宇宙に住む我々が自由を要求して何度連邦に踏みにじられたかを思い起こすがいい。ジオン公国の掲げる人類一人一人の自由のための戦いを神が見捨てるわけはない。私の弟諸君らが愛してくれたガルマ・ザビは死んだ。なぜだ。
坊やだからさ。
戦いはやや落ち
Damn it, Char.
諸君らはこの戦争を対岸の火と見過ごしているのではないのか。
マスター、
それは私におごらせてもらおう。いいかね。
親衛隊のものだな。わかりますか。匂いだな。
Is that Tachi? I don't know who this is going to be.
さすがですな、少佐。
Gotta wait until he turns around.
大丈夫？
心配かけたようだね。大丈夫だよ。
頑張ってね。
ありがとう。
諸君の父も兄も連邦の無思慮な抵抗の前に死んでいったのだ。この悲しみも怒りも忘れてはならない。それをガルマ
You must always remember to go back to war.
我々は今この怒りを結集し連邦軍に叩きつけて初めて真の勝利を得ることができる。この勝利こそ戦死者すべてへの最大の慰めとなる。国民を立て。
Amuro's still there like, who
Take
is
your
Garma?
sorrow and turn it into anger. Zeon thirsts for the strength of its people. Seek Zeon.
That is definitely the most animated I've ever heard Giran there. Amuro realizing he may have actually fallen forward for a second.
No, it's not going to stop, and you're gonna... It's the shots of everybody else is responding to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I hope you like that speech, as you're gonna hear it a number more times in other shows.
We're gonna keep getting it forever, everybody.
Well, I've heard it a number of times. Once for the voice actor at a live convention, Andrew W.K., the singer, did the English version before.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
敵味方の入り口のところにアムロのふるさとがあった。人々の心は冷み、母との出会いの中、二人にとって不幸が迫る。母との再会がアムロにとって安らぎにはならなかった。次回機動戦士ガンダム再会母よ。君は生き延びることができるか。
So most people's favorite episode is where Amuro meets his mom. Okay.
Our Arboro wakes up in the middle of his bed, gun in hand, points it at his mother and goes, oh no.
So yeah, this was the episode I was waiting for, but I think maybe the part I know must come from the compilation movie. Because it focuses more on Giran in the, like, giving the speech at the place rather than the recording over the thing. So the movie
Right, the
must
more
edit
direct
it. Yeah, the movie must edit it more. And also, it like covers everything. Also, I've heard it worded differently than the subtitles. Because, like, even when I said Zeon thirsts for the strength of its people, Zeon thirsts for your strength or something is what was written on the screen.
Yeah.
Take your sorrow, turn it into anger. Zeon thirsts for the strength of its people. It really rises to a crescendo. I've got a horrible memory. I was just thinking earlier today, Gurren Lagann is my favorite anime of all time, probably. And even I don't remember the name of all the characters in the show, so this is my favorite speech in all of Gundam that I know. And obviously I don't know all of Gundam, because this is the last thing I'll ever know in Universal Century. And even then, I can barely remember what comes before, take your sorrow, turn it into anger. A real Sith line that is.
But yeah, this is a good turning point, because up until now, if we didn't have the origin, we didn't have too much to go on with what is Zeon really about. The answer is right here. This is what they're going to be the entire rest of the series.
Well, it also changes how we would have seen it. The show is showing them off as like a completely dictatorial people, and you'd have to go off of Garen's speech of your Federation raised its hand to space. We asked for our freedom and they declined. We saw in the origin that the Federation was literally shooting protesters in the streets. So it was not. It's not a whole completely one-sided. The Zeon is bad. Federation is bad too.
But the zombie family is definitely the worst.
I don't know. Rebel
Individually,
Rebel has kind of turned into a bad guy after his capture and release, because they were set up. Literally, Degwin was like, "I want peace. I don't want any more fighting. Too many people have already died." And then he goes out of his way to get Rebel released from the prison, the Zeon prison, so that he can go back and hopefully they can start a peace dialogue. And then Rebel goes fucking insane and goes into a joint conference and broadcasts his speech of, "We can't let the Zeon live. The Zeon must die. They're doing all this shit because they're on the back foot anyway. We can take them. War now, war forever." It's like, oh fuck. That's when Degwin is like, "Oh fuck you, Rebel. That's it. We're going to war."
All of the mercy, completely regretting it now. Yeah.
So, I mean, Degwin is completely reasonable as a person. He did, like, a couple of horrible things to make sure that their position would be settled. Like, we're gonna push the Federation off. He wasn't even for the war, the rebellion, to push the Federation back. He was like, there's no chance. Too many people will die. Let's not do it. And then they just fucking did it. Anyway.
I guess Degwin is best put as like the word of caution. Like, he wants to take things slow, and he had very specific, discrete ambitions, which once he met, he's just kind of happy with, actually, because he set an expectation. Meanwhile, all of his kids are just like completely full of ambition, going, no, everything.
Well, I mean, literally, there's a Gundam game called Garen's Ambition. So
yeah, there we go.
That's the one I really want to play sometime, but I can't ever find it anywhere because it's like not English released anywhere.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be a super, like almost like a Stellaris, old school version of like Stellaris, but for Gundam.
Ooh, okay.
With like like events where certain factions rise and fall and whatnot. But I've long time ago I considered that it might have been Degwin that orchestrated the assassination of Zeon's Daikun, rather. And I am really reconsidering that fact that possibly it was just another Caecilia op, like the first Caecilia op to poison Zeon. And that Degwin
as main antagonist.
That Degwin may have actually had nothing to do with it. He's reaped all the rewards, did none of the footwork, nor requested it, or any of that sort.
Yeah, no, I think that's like That's a really solid theory. Like, we need to see it pan out. We need to see, like, Icelina pop up and go, it's like, it was I who killed Zeon.
Well, I've no
And,
doubt
you
that
know, have a whole moment like that.
I've no doubt there's a manga reader out there already spoiling in the comment section to ruin it all for us, but
Yeah.
know at least that I'm the barrier between the comment section and you getting spoiled.
Yeah, with like the focus on Zeon, just like briefly back to Arboro for a second, like in him watching this, and he's saying like, "Oh, this is our enemy." It's like he realizes that he is against all of those people now because he is now blamed for the death of Garma. He's public enemy number one of everyone chanting for his death right there. He just last episode went through one person wanted revenge on him. Now he sees an entire crowd just waiting for him to explode.
Well, I mean, the scene was, again, not to pan away from Amuro, but the overall of that scene was every time you hear a Zeon, you get another panning shot of the crew of White Base.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, obviously there was more shots than that because you saw everybody else too. Like, Rumble just sitting back like, well, I guess that's happening. And then, Char at the bar with who knows who it was. I'm going to guess Tachi.
I absolutely love Char. Just like even then, like at every moment, it's just there to make fun of Garma. He really is.
But then you have the people on the White Base that are like looking at it and seeing, and then they're like, "Oh no, Zeon," because it's just hitting them. Not like this is what we're facing, but this is their resolve and the realization that I don't have that much resolve. I just want to survive.
They're in it for the long haul.
Well, it feels like the people in the Federation that are responding to it are, I just want to survive, while everybody on the Zeon side that's chanting is, we want to win. And it's a different level of resolve that's being forced upon them. Because, I mean, I don't think if you gathered everybody up on the White Base ship, you could get them to do that kind of chant.
But, I mean, just think about all the great things the Federation has. It has war crimes. It has military-industrial complex. It has warmongers. It's great. Why wouldn't you be ready to fight to the death for them right now?
Well, I mean, some might argue they also have Lieutenant Matilda.
Okay, well, now I'm convinced. We're Federation all the way. Sig Federation, I guess. That doesn't work at all.
Yeah, I don't know I don't think you could have an alliance chant or alliance. I'm on the wrong show. I don't think you could have an Earth Federation chant. Like,
right.
Start turning into a Warcraft thing for the Federation.
War crime.
Well, I mean, no,
right.
We know what are their names. The two guys at the top. Let me bring up the board back. Elrin and Gop. The ones that are like, keep fighting, just make it clean.
Yeah.
The one that were at the treaty place, they're trying to get rid of biological warfare, atomic warfare, no more colony drops. Yeah, just keep fighting. Let's make it a clean fight, though.
Yeah.
They want to keep going forever. And that's why they were smiling when Revel comes on screen with his crazy ass shit.
Just right up there amongst the true antagonists of the show. So, I think with all that, though, I think that's all we got for this episode, then. You got anything else you want to wrap up with?
Well, we got 2 episodes worth of stuff. Yeah, nothing else from the first episode, either?
I think we covered that one pretty well. I think we hit that one, like, nail on the head. So, can't wait to see next time when Amuro accidentally shoots the last remaining member of his family. I'm ready for it, are you?
Well, I mean, I don't... Maybe that's the episode where he gets over the PTSD. God damn it, I hit the button right at the time to turn that into a straight line.
Dang.
I mean, I assume that's the moment his mother's going to help him with the PTSD. Because otherwise, where else does he go from here, PTSD-wise?
He just stays forever, like, depressed and shell-shocked, yeah. This has to be the turnaround for him, too.
I mean, people can't be huge fans of Amuro if he's literally a comatose, guy in a suit wandering from one fight to the next.
My favorite Gundam protagonist is the potato.
At some point, Plank. Most people's is Plank. otherwise known as Satsuna. But I mean, at some point he's gotta. I don't want to say wake up, but he's gotta, like, you know, come to some sort of resolve.
Yeah. He's seen the resolve of the enemies. Now we get to maybe come see his next time. So I think that's going to go ahead and conclude for today. So this has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?